Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosely. Joining me in just a couple of moments will be Deena Pace, the Executive Director of the Humane Society. But before we do, it's time to go into Mike's Pet Peeves. Now, Mike's Pet Peeves is merely my opinion, not the opinion of the board, the Humane Society, or anything to that extent. Today we're going to talk about operating your vehicle while on public roads. Some do's and don'ts, such as, please do not make a left-hand turn when you are 100 feet from a stoplight. Why do you think you've got to hold up traffic and just inch your way out through traffic? You don't deserve the right of way. Nobody deserves anything. Also, defensive driving. Maybe, be aware of your surroundings, such as that red vehicle that's hurling towards you at 55 miles an hour. Maybe don't turn right in front of it. Maybe notice that there's not a car that is in scene for half a mile behind me. There was tumbleweeds blowing across the road. This person thought they had to turn in front of me, causing me to slam on my brakes, and it went all downhill from there. Why? People just simply, I know, we're coming up on Christmas. It's really hard. We're all stressed. 2020's been a long year, I know. Take a moment, take a deep breath, and just be a nice driver. Please, be polite. I know, it's really not even that funny. Thank you, Kelsey, for helping me co-write that. It wasn't even that funny. It's just really, I can't stand drivers that act like idiots.
Mike, my husband and son both drive semis.
I'm sure
Imagine that, 80,000 pounds. People don't realize they weigh 80,000 pounds. They can't stop just because you pulled out in front of them or decided to stop in front of them.
They think they're faster. Like, I'm gonna pull out and slam on the gas. My 4-cylinder Prius is gonna outrun this huge 80,000.
Drivers aren't what they used to be.
No, they're not.
And you can tell that nowadays a lot of them, there's no such thing as driver's education before you can get a driver's license.
Right.
So when I went to school, that was mandatory, driver's education.
I was as well. Driver's ed, defensive driving. Yeah. You had to do all of that stuff.
Absolutely, and you had to pass those tests.
Right, the tests. So. Now, this day and age, we don't have to pass those kind of tests. There's all kinds of things we can just get away with. There's a lot of people that try to get away with turning animals in as loose dogs.
Stray dogs and cats.
Stray dogs. Mm-hmm. Even though behavior says, this is my owner.
Right. What
does this do for the dog, damage-wise? I mean, sure, it's saving face because I look like, I don't know, I just found this dog on the side of the road.
The honesty, Mike, would go so far for us to be able to help that animal faster, because as we've talked about over and over again, every time an animal comes into us, we have to give it a name.
Right.
So we're going to take poor John here and take him to the back and do his wellness check and all that, start on his evaluations, when really his name is Duke, and he's been Duke for 1 to 6 years old. And now we're calling him John, and he's looking at us like, what is happening?
Right.
And really and truly, animal people understand this, that they know what's going on. They know you're abandoning them.
Right.
You are abandoning them.
Right.
For whatever reason. And sometimes there's really good reasons that people can no longer keep your pet. But please just be honest with us. Tell us it's yours. Tell us the name. Tell us how long you've had them. Anything that will help that pet. We've got forms to fill out. Is it housebroke? How does it alert you to go out?
Right.
Does it like kids? Is it up to date on vaccines? Is it this? Is it, does it do this? Does it like toys? Does it not like toys? What kind of food do you feed it?
Right.
Because, we have a set food that we feed these animals up there when they come into us, and a lot of times, it gives them diarrhea because it's not the food they're used to.
Right, changing their diet very suddenly, just like any of us.
Absolutely. And if you're just honest with us, it goes so much easier for the pet that hopefully you've loved. Right. And love enough to do this final thing for him before turning him in to us, so that we can continue to call him Duke. or whatever their name was.
Well, also medical reasons.
Absolutely.
I mean, it helps you guys so much on knowing where this dog, what kind of needs to place with the dog.
Absolutely.
So when people are coming and adopting, you have a dog that's,
yeah, you know, and we've, you know, over the years, we you wouldn't believe all the different things we've seen. You know, we've had people turn in animals because it gets foxtails. Let's just say the foxtail one.
Okay. Somebody turned in.
And they can't afford to pay $80-some every time at the vet to get the foxtails removed. So have we considered spraying our yard to kill the foxtails?
Right.
You know, I mean, little things like this, you know, and so, you know, we've had a dog turned into us that the person wanted euthanized because it had cancer. And it was a young dog, and we said, what vet did you see? And so Debbie's an amazing manager. She really is. And she called the vet and said, can I get the records, please, on this dog? Well, they had seen the dog once and never did they diagnose it with cancer. It turned out the dog had pancreatitis.
Okay.
After we spent the money and did all the testing on it.
Which is way different than
and
cancer.
Way treatable.
Right.
You know, yes, it's going to cost you some money for medication, but this was a young dog. And so once we got everything diagnosed, got this dog on the medicine that it needed, then we were able to adopt it and definitely disclose everything to the adopter, so they knew what the medicine would roughly cost them a month, what her diet needed to be.
Right.
You know, so people just think that, you know, we're all about, you come in, tell us that this animal has cancer, we're going to euthanize it. No, we're going to talk to you and have a conversation and say, hey, can we do some medical on this dog?
Well,
because I'm not comfortable euthanizing this young of an animal.
And, you know, I know this, and we've talked about this many times, and we never, as a humane society, never tout that we are a no-kill shelter.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, according to national standards, we're way above a no-kill shelter.
We are.
So then that's just the community dollars at work.
Yes. So when people donate to us, you know, that's what we do with this money. You know, we have some that need more medical. Just like take Bailey, for example. If anyone's following us on Facebook right now, Bailey is the dog over in the training area that had to have emergency surgery.
Right.
So we put that out on Facebook because her bladder actually was coming out after half her puppies came out, and so she had to have, you know, a cesarean to get the rest of them out, and then put the bladder back in. And of course, while Doc was in there, she spayed her. You know, so we did 3 things in one surgery on her. Put it on Facebook, raised $1,010. That money is going to pay the doctor that did the surgery, or to help pay.
Right.
You know, so when you donate to us, you know, it's, you know, some of these big places, you know, you look at, you know what, let's just throw it out there. The HSUS.
Let's do it.
The CEOs, what they make.
Oh,
you know?
Man, jeez.
You know, and Best Friends is another wonderful place that helps animals. You know, but look at their 990s. Look at our 990s. You know,
can see the difference.
We put this money into these animals. You know, and it takes money to make them all healthy and adoptable.
So that's one of the reasons I was really upset that we didn't get to have our 50th birthday party this year, because I was really looking forward to showing the public how much of their money and what it really does, because you're right, you only see a small portion of the shelter. Right. But there's so much more.
Yes, and how far we've come in the 50 years since that group of individuals that started our shelter.
Right.
You know, and how the community has rallied to support us and keep us going for these homeless animals. It's something that is, we'd love to work ourselves out of a position, wouldn't we?
Right.
But I don't see it happening in our lifetime.
Sadly,
you know?
No.
So, but all we can do is continue to do what we do for all these animals and continue to educate the public on the importance of spaying and neutering, for all the different medical reasons, keeping them at home, your dogs aren't going to stray as far, you know, stuff like that.
Now, speaking of straying dogs, it happens to the most of the best of us.
Yes.
Now, you have an amazingly convenient, quick, and cost-effective way of helping with that. Describe,
Microchipping.
please. There you go.
So microchipping we do on any day we're open, no appointments necessary, $20. Not only do we insert the microchip, we register it for you for
Which
that
sounds
price.
like half the work.
It is. You know, I can't tell you how many times we've seen animals come into us with a microchip that have never been registered, or they haven't been kept up because somebody's changed their phone number or moved. And the chip is as good as you, the individual, keep it. We do the first registering. If you change your phone number, your address, you need to call your microchip company. It's kind of like taking everything with you with your children. You know, you're going to take all their records to school. Why not make sure that you're updating and keeping everything current for your pet too?
Yeah, I mean, we keep every other record. My accountant makes me keep receipts, and they're definitely not as important as my dog.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I wouldn't lose track of that.
Absolutely. And so with the microchip, the great thing is just about all animal control officers carry a scanner.
Oh, really?
Yes. All the vets' offices have them, the shelters, universal scanners. So we can scan an animal, get a chip number, even if it's not our chip that we insert, we call that microchip company and say, hey, this is what we have. And they will give us the information so that we can still reunite that pet.
So would that save the pet owner if they had their dog microchipped? Would that save their pet owner money in the long run from administration fees and all the other stuff that gets entangled with that when a dog does come into the shelter?
Well, you know, it could save them if the animal control officer called us and said, hey, here's a microchip number, can you tell me whose it is and give me some information?
Totally saved them for dog? Yeah.
Exactly. So the animal control officer calls the people or takes the dog right back over to them.
That was
easy. And I will tell you, the animal control officers up here for Navajo County, for the town of Pine Top, and I believe Show Low too, are all very, very good at that kind of stuff. You know, they'd rather not have to bring the animal to the shelter.
Right.
Let's take them back home. You know, Navajo County leaves door flyers saying, hey, we couldn't get a hold of you. We took your animal to the shelter. Here's their phone number.
Oh, nifty.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll have to talk about that at some point, the Navajo County.
Yeah, maybe we ought to have them on one day with us.
We should. We'll talk about that. And we are going to be right back in just a couple moments. We're going to discuss some ways to donate, ways to volunteer, or just ways to help the Humane Society in general. We'll be back in a moment. Hello and welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosely, and joining me is, of course, Deena Pace. Hello again.
Hi.
So, you know, we talked a lot about in the first segment why it's good to keep your dog microchipped. Let's see, we talked about some of the things the Humane Society does with the money that we get.
Right.
What is some ways that the Humane Society intakes income? Now, we had a huge raffle. We did. And I didn't win bleepity bleep or bleepity bleep.
Neither did I.
No.
But you know what?
We won for the dogs.
The animals are the winners for everyone that bought those tickets.
That's what I told myself the whole way home.
Me too. Every time we have something, we all buy, don't we?
Right.
And
yes.
so yes. I kind of feel like we're sitting in the loser circle, but yet it's still the winner circle because it goes to the animals.
Right. I say the same thing when I scratch off a lottery ticket and don't win.
Yes. I donated again.
So we're happy to donate there at the Humane Society.
Are.
What are some other ways that people can donate, or what are some good volunteer options for people? Now that we've got COVID and it even looks like we might be on the verge of another lockdown.
Absolutely, it does, doesn't it?
What does that mean for the Humane Society?
So again, if we do go into that, Mike, my fear is, of course, our doghouse thrift shop, which is our everyday income, is not going to be considered an essential.
Yes.
Okay, so, you know, we closed for 6 weeks in March.
It hurt.
It did hurt, you know, because all our fundraising efforts have had to be recreated to differently, and they've been successful, but they've been less dollar-wise, you know, than what like Happy Tails would have brought us. So what it would mean is we would need our community to continue to support us, you know, through our efforts. On our website, hswm.org, there's a donate button. You can donate there. You can mail us in a check, P.O. Box 909 Lakeside.
Now, you had a little secret Santa.
We do.
And this little secret Santa said something about making my personal donation better?
Yes. So we did have one of our, and the Secret Santa is also one of our great volunteers.
Okay.
Said that they would match dollar for dollar up to $5,000 for the holidays for the animals. So say somebody says, I've only got $5. Hey, your $5 just became 10.
Which is a chunk. It's a penny in the bucket.
You know, and we don't look at any donation and turn our nose up.
No
because
way.
Every dollar adds up.
Right.
And we need every dollar to do what we do. You know, and so yes, our newsletter will be coming out hopefully before Thanksgiving, but it's just at print, so it might be right afterwards.
Okay.
But hey, you know what? Send in a little donation. Any amount helps, and maybe put matching funds. You know, and that'll tell us, hey, that's going so that we can let this person know that we've got X amount here now.
Now, there's another way, and you've talked to us before, and to be 100% honest, I don't know. I was like lost. I don't fully understand the program, but I know how awesome the program is. Can you tell us more about that whole Amazon Gives thingy?
So Amazon Smile.
That thingy, yes.
Amazon Smile. So anyone that shops Amazon.
Which is just about everybody.
Exactly. Just go to Amazon Smile.
Okay.
And type in the Humane Society of the White Mountains. And then we get a certain percentage of what you spend. Usually quarterly we get anywhere from $200 to $400.
Wow.
From Amazon, from all our people that are shopping at Amazon Smile. And even if you're a Prime member, it's all still the same. You still get the same pricing and everything, but a percentage of that's going to come to our shelter.
Wow.
And we also on Amazon have a wish list.
Okay.
Of things that the animals need, so people can do that also. You know, some of our needs that is always there, if anyone is able to help, is pedigree puppy chow.
Okay.
Purina kitten chow.
Okay.
Those are things that we don't get in large amounts that cost us money. The laundry soap, the bleach, the disinfectant wipes, all that kind of stuff. Canned dog food.
Right.
You know, those are things that we don't get from our great supplier Purina over in Flagstaff. You know, those are things that we have to buy, and that becomes an expense to us.
Of course.
So all those kind of things help. And you know, paper towels. You'd be surprised how many paper towels we go through in our cleaning.
I go through paper towels in my kitchen, and I'm only there for 30 minutes a day.
Exactly.
I can't imagine.
Exactly. So, you know, and so if we were to go into a shutdown again, the shelter has been considered essential because we do take in stray pets.
Okay.
So, of course, we would be there. We would probably shorten our hours a little bit.
Okay.
You know, and but we would be there so that people can look for their lost pets, or maybe adopt one.
Now, that being said, last lockdown, we did see a little bit of a spike.
We did.
In adoption. So I'm trying to put the silver lining on the cloud as we go into lockdown, but we might find some really happy homes. It's the holidays. We're going to go into lockdown. You got plenty of time to play with that Christmas puppy and train it.
Train it, yeah.
I mean, this is almost lined up.
It is.
Except for the fact of,
you know,
toilet paper and all the other things that go with it.
That you can't get in again.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But you know, Mike, there's just, you know, we try to keep a good attitude during these hard times with us, and we have to focus on the good.
Right.
You know, and the good is what we as the Humane Society is doing for these homeless animals. You know, we are so fortunate. I really consider myself honored to serve these animals. You know, and so does everyone, you and everyone else, you know, that is affiliated with us. To watch these animals come in so scared, so beaten, so injured, and turn them around.
And the the dogs that, and yes, I do pay attention to Facebook, even though I don't necessarily like every picture, but you see a picture of a dog and yes, they're very scared, and then 2 months later I'll recognize that dog again in an adoption picture, and it almost doesn't, you're like, I think I know that dog, but I know. It's just amazing, the work, and it's the positiveness that the staff has.
Yes.
It's just the aura of the Humane Society in general. And I know we've talked about how sad we could make videos, but really we think of our place as more of a happy place.
We do.
Than anything negative.
We do. And you know, that's what I say. People go, oh, it's so sad I can't come in or volunteer there. Really? Come see it.
Right.
Watch these animals. These animals, some of them don't even want to leave us.
Right.
You know, they're that loved and they're that cared for. And it's not just the staff, it's our volunteers that help us with this, because without our volunteers, we're nothing, you know?
Now, talk about some volunteers that could be easy to do if we went back into lockdown, or is there other ways that people can help?
There absolutely always is. So, you know, if we go into another lockdown, or even if we don't, we always need help with the animals. The cats love to have people come and sit with them. You know,
I do not sit with cats anymore.
You don't?
No.
Well, that's probably for another time. Yeah. And you know, you probably have a reason for that.
I've got a pretty decent reason.
But the cats do love you. You got to say that. They're kind of drawn to you. But you can come and sit with, say, some of these scared pets that come in.
Okay,
you know,
yes.
Some of these dogs are the puppies that need socialization. We've got a litter of 8 puppies up there right now that just recently have left their mama. Mm-hmm. And we've got them 2. You know, we've got 4 kennels of 2. And it's like, we need people to come help us get these guys, let them know what life's about. You know, we're so busy caring for them that we don't have time to sit down and teach them what they should be learning right now. Volunteers to help us with that kind of stuff. Volunteers to walk the dogs. Because every one of our dogs that is vaccinated and at the age where they can be walked, if we don't have volunteers, our staff still is required to get those dogs out of those kennels twice a day and give them walks, and so that they can go potty. We can help them with that house breaking and everything. Right. You know, or out to the exercise yard. But volunteers to do that kind of stuff. Of course, we always need volunteers to help us with our fundraising efforts.
Yes, we do. And you know, like you said, we've revamped fundraising, but it's not what it was. So we could use, in fact, let's just go ahead and throw, I know it's in the newsletter, but since we've got this audience, the board of directors has got a couple spots. So if you are looking to volunteer and you would like to be a part of the board of directors, then I think they talk to you. Yeah. They can get a hold of me and we can talk a little bit, and then they can send some stuff in that I will bring to the board meeting. So maybe you want to volunteer more on the business side. Maybe you want to volunteer more on the physical side. And who doesn't love the outdoors? That's why we all live here. Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of ways to be able. Now, there's one more that we haven't touched on, but we did touch on, and that's the volunteers for fosters. Yes. You know, oh my goodness. We couldn't do this again without those foster volunteers. You know, we just got a litter of Moo is the mom's name. She had been in my office, and her litter went out to foster. They just came back. So they'll be going up for adoption pretty soon. Okay. And that same foster, after the holiday, is going to come and get Bailey and her litter. Aww. So fosters really save lives, because it's and they teach them the manners in a home that we can't, like with the litter of 8 that we have, you know, that we need help socializing them. They teach them so much. They really do, and what it's like to be in a home. Now that sounds like a way to volunteer COVID safely and saving lives all at the same time. Absolutely. And you know, that was something too, that during that first shutdown, we had people stepping up wanting to volunteer to foster. You know, and we supply everything you need. Some people choose to buy their own stuff, which again is a donation and saves us money. So, but fosters are very important to us.
as another volunteer.
Right.
And over at our doghouse, we always need volunteers there. The volunteer opportunities is amazing, and people can call Deborah and see what else is available.
That's what my next, you read my mind, I was going to lead into that, is yes, contact the volunteer coordinator, and I'm sure she's got a link there on the website.
She does.
All right, so you can volunteer, donate, and do all of that at hswm.org.
You can.
And I don't have the number memorized, but I know you do. Spout that off once for us.
928-368-5295.
It's in my phone, though. I don't have it memorized, but it's in my phone.
Yeah,
I got it.
You do have it. I know you have it. That way you know when we're calling you.
That's right. So once again, if there's lots of ways to donate, there's lots of ways to be a part of the Humane Society family throughout these tough times, throughout these holiday times, whatever we've got, please come be a part of our family. You can find all kinds of information on the website, such as how to contact Deena for maybe a spot on the board of directors, or how to contact our volunteer coordinator, or maybe just look through the pictures of cute dogs and find the one that's right for you.
And cats, Mike.
I had cats.
Petey kind of left a little bit of an impression on you, but I know you like cats too.
I like cats 99.9% of the time. We'll see you guys next month. Thanks for joining us.